Hi guys, this is Crossy of Eclipse Gaming TV and welcome to part 27 and the first part of our second season and our promotion challenge as we try and dig ourselves straight back out of the Skybet League 2 at the first time of asking. Now I got a little bit overexcited and ended up playing the first game without recording a part, which was a bit silly of me, and normally I'd go back to the beginning of the game and start again, but I just didn't feel like I could because, as you can probably see here, Gillingham 5, Accrington Stanley 0. Slightly better than last season, eh? And you'll see 4 goals from Samed Yazil, who I'll give you more information on very quickly. I'll show you just quickly as well the transfer history, mainly because you can see that a big chunk of our playing squad from last time around have left the team. A few faces in there I would have been quite keen to keep. So for example, Brennan Dickinson had a good future ahead of him, Josh Pritchard, John Egan, young players that would have done a very good job for us, and of course Rob Earnshaw is a very short-term option as he did score 11 goals for us after joining the team very late. But as you can see from the column on the left as well, we've brought a lot of new players in, all on free transfers because we've got no budget to play with. As a little bit of a test to see how pre-season was going to pan out, I did actually continue on. I simulated through to the end of last season and had a little play, and quite interestingly, ex-Gillingham player Ryan Bertrand was sold by Chelsea and we got about 200k's worth of kickback as a next sale fee, but didn't happen this time, so I haven't got 200 grand to play with, which is very dangerous for a League 2 side, believe me. But no such luck this time, and due to various issues they've changed it so that we only get 5% of any transfer fees for players that we've actually sold. So these guys, I was much more interested in offloading them, getting them out the door, than trying to get any kind of fee, because I wouldn't get it as transfer budget. It just seemed pointless. So they've all gone. I've freed up wage room and we've made a lot of very good signings, I would say. Keeping with my usual plan of only having one sort of first choice goalkeeper and then the rest are going to be kids. So we've got Ian Turner, the ex-Everton man, was also at Preston for a little while, scored 1 goal. Bit of an interesting one that. He had scored more goals than Everton strikers at one point in the season during 2011-12. It was back at the time when it was down to Tim Cahill scoring pretty much all the goals, injuries, that sort of thing. But not great reading. But we've got Ian Turner. Decent stats, getting on a little bit. But basically good player for most Skybet League 1 sides, so punching above his weight just a little bit I would think, but he's stepping in for Stuart Nelson, the 33-year-old who decided he wants to move on to pastures new. 2 young players that we've got were with us last time, so we've got Chris Haig, who hasn't got much potential at all, but Tom Hadler, the 17-year-old, is a very exciting prospect, would probably be a good sort of League 1 goalkeeper right at the end. Well, not right at the end, but give him a couple of years, that could be the avenue that he's looking to work to, but not quite there yet. Good command of his area at a young age and decent handling and reflex stats, but whether he'll even rotate in, probably not good enough to rotate in for cup games unless we really aren't that fussed about them, but never mind. Curtis Abeng, this is a player 26 now that I've snapped up from Fulham. Good pace stats, fairly decent sort of defensive stats, marking and tackling, positioning again not too bad, so he's got the aspects that I quite like from a fullback, in that he's got the pace to be able to come and track back. He's not a bad defender by any means, but also he's got that pace, so he's got that ability to create us a bit going forward, and a half decent crossing stat as well. So I would say that he'd be our first choice right back for most of the season, but we've made a few signings who are sort of backups really, that could also potentially rotate in at right back, which could be interesting. Next one of those, Oscar Threlkeld. Brought him in pretty much as a backup option, but again, decent mental stats, decent physical stats, tackling technique and heading are all pretty good. His marking numbers are a little bit weak, which is disappointing, but he's got a bit of potential to develop. I have used him on a personal save a little bit at Bolton, but didn't progress too far, unfortunately. It's not quite his level. But if you have a look at his report, he's got the potential to add another star, which would make him probably a good League One player. Already good at this level, but we do have some stronger players ahead of him. But a backup option, can also play at right back. And also I've got Matthew Pennington, another player who's got decent physical stats and very good mental stats for his age as well, with potential to develop. Again, could gain one more star, so another decent League One player. Big thing that attracted me to Pennington is here and his physical stats. Same with Threlkeld, really. Is, yeah, okay, you like your defenders to be very good at defending, and you can see Pennington's not bad. 12 heading, 11 marking, 12 tackling. Few improvements could be needed there, but he's got very good mental stats. 15 determination, concentration's not bad. Yeah. But sometimes it helps, especially if you've got ageing defenders who are very good at defending and have a lot of experience and leadership and that sort of thing. It's sometimes good to have a player alongside them that's a bit quicker and a bit more agile. And that's kind of what I'm looking at with Pennington and Threlkeld. And again, he has that ability to drop in at right back as well. Got a bit of pace and a bit to offer going forward in that ilk. Maybe not the most creative force, but the way I tend to play, we don't need him to be. It's just if he can ping in the odd cross, then that's handy. Joey Cunnington is a 16-year-old, has got good potential. Again, 4-star potential, could be a good League One player in the future. The only reason I've got him even available is because I've got a couple of injuries at left back, which I will show you very quickly. None or neither of them are particularly permanent, only going to be about a month where we have some upheaval, but still a little bit disappointing. We are going for two fairly similar fullbacks. So we've got Matt Hill, the 34-year-old, fairly short-term option for us for obvious reasons, but still got good stamina at age 34. 19 determination, which is great, good teamwork and work rate, so a hard worker. Good mental stats across the board. Heading 13, marking 13 towards the higher end, and 11 tackling. So he's going to be first choice left back, but he does have some competition from Joe Martin, who he played last time around. He gives you a bit more going forward, slightly weaker in his defensive stats and slightly weaker in his mental stats, but a little bit quicker. So we've got good versatility with those two. Joe Martin out for 3 to 4 weeks. Matt Hill out for 5 to 6, but hopefully we'll see them back soon. Club captain, Peter Clark, 33-year-old. Again, a fairly temporary solution, but you can see 14 heading, 13 tackling, 12 marking. Defensively, he's pretty much up there with the rest of the team. Pace, agility, acceleration, etc. is a little bit weak in this aspect, but good strength as well. So this is the prime example of we've got a good defender, a great leader, really good mental stats, but is sometimes lacking a bit in this right column, in the physical column. So we're going to have someone alongside him more often than not to cover that. Raphael Calvert, we kept him on board, the 21-year-old. Another one of those players that's got very good physicals. Heading 14 as well is good. And again, not bad mentals either, which is something that I have fallen foul of in the past, having very good defenders statistically, good physical stats, but their concentration is way, way down, and it's those lapses that end up costing us those goals that make things very, very difficult for us. So glad to keep Raphael on board, probably our strongest centre-back last year, and if he can cut the mustard at League One, then he should be able to cope with the step down as well. So he's with us all season. Shane Ramsey, 16-year-old central defender. Again, 14 marking, 12 heading already, and good determination. Still got quite a lot of improvement he could make in a fair few areas, including his tackling. But at 16, he's a hot prospect for us going forward, and could be a good Sky Bet Championship central defender in the future. So hopefully I can develop him along that line. Matt Fish staying with us. He's still a little bit weak in his defensive areas, but again, not bad compared to the team that we have got. I think he's going to be a lot less exposed in this league compared to how he was in League 2. Good player for most Sky Bet League 2 sides, as you can see. I've seen Matt Fish a number of times up close and personal for Dover and for Gillingham, and he's a really, really good player going forward, but a real liability at the back. I've seen him at times where he goes up the other end, skins the fullback every day of the week, and then finds the same thing happen to him. He's getting skinned back at the defensive side. But it gives us good good creativity going forward. He's not horrific on the defensive side of the ball, but could do with some work, and he's filling in at left back for us at the moment, which is also quite a handy thing. Gives us just that extra bit of cover. Right, okay, next Adam Moffat, the Scotsman, 29-year-old, kind of my type of player, if you like. Sort of gets in, no nonsense, no messing around, good determination and work rate, puts himself about a bit. I would say he's not got a whole lot on the creative stats, but 11 corners, 15 long shots, and decent marking and tackling as well, which is what you want. So he's best in the hole in front of the back four, so he's going to be slotting into that role that was filled by Josh Pritchard a lot of last year, which is fine. If he does get the opportunity to push up, because he can also play central midfield, then that long shots number is something that I might be looking to exploit, because there's not too many players that can do that for us, I don't believe. Really good aggression as well, so he's going to get stuck in and really mix it up, and especially at this sort of level, or at any level really, you need a player like that that is willing to put the graft in and do the down and dirty stuff for you. So that's what we can expect from Adam Moffat, a typical Scotsman. Jake Hessenthaler sticking with us, out for 4 to 6 weeks for a damaged Achilles tendon. I think actually, if we have a look, good player for most Sky Bet League 2 sides, but if you look at what we've got in terms of our central midfielders, he's actually quite a bit behind on the pecking order, but he is a player that I rate very, very highly, and just seems to have so much time on the ball. And let me see what his potential just flagged up as there. I forgot to have a look. A leading Sky Bet League 2 central midfielder, sorry. So it looks like Jake Hessenthaler has pretty much met his level, which is a real shame. I'd like to have seen him stick with us, and to be fair, was a very good player for us last year. Didn't do too much wrong, and I just like the way that he could sit in the midfield and just ping passes around. Just seems to have a bit of time on the ball. But yeah, it looks like he's been surpassed by some better players now, which is a nice problem to have in a way. 16-year-old Jake Lampard, he did score a goal last season, got a few games right at the end, good pace numbers. Everything else is a bit of a work in progress, but never mind. Potential to be probably a good championship player going forward. Give him some time. In fact, what I will do, as we are working with some quite big squads, I'll get these two back into the under-18s for the time being. Same with Cunnington actually, because we've got Fish filling in at left back. That's not a problem. So let's just tidy this up and make it a little easier to look at. There we go. Right, now to a couple of loan signings. Jordan Lussey, out for 10 days to 2 weeks, unfortunately. Central midfielder for Liverpool. What I realised actually is that Lussey is an out-and-out central midfielder. Cameron Brannigan is mainly an attacking central midfielder. sitting in the hole between the two, which is why I was surprised that Lussey was getting thrown in on the quick pick when I was figuring that Brannigan was the better player, and he is, but he's not the best central midfielder, which is kind of awkward. So, yeah, apologies for not realising that. Not particularly eagle-eyed of me, but you can see why he's a good central midfielder. He's got a bit of everything. He can put the ball away, long shots. He's got decent long shots and good creative stats across the board. So a very, very useful player for us, and will probably be playing a lot of the games. Good mental stats already, despite only being 20. It's his physicals that are letting him down. But never mind, if he stands in there and pings the passes, cracks off the odd long shot, I really couldn't care less about him running at people, because we do have some very exciting players for that, including Meska on loan from Fulham. And you can see here, very good pace numbers, 15 acceleration, 13 pace, 14 agility, good dribbling as well, so he's going to be able to run at players, something that we haven't had a whole lot of. Crossing, not too bad, and passing not too bad. Would have hoped for that to be a little bit better for a wide player. And you can see his mental stats aren't great, apart from 17 flair, which is always exciting to see. So we could see some fun stuff from Meska. He's going to take the left wing. Ryan Kent will take the right wing, the Liverpool man. Good dribbling and good, well, actually, fairly decent crossing. Again, got pace on his side. Very quick player. Yeah, lots of potential. Potential to be a leading Premier Division right winger. Now you can see here there's a lot of work that needs to be done for him to reach that point, but only at 18 there is time, and I'm very excited to have Ryan Kent on board. Putting a lot of great balls, scored a few goals back end of last season, so those are our two main wide players. Bradley Dack still with the team, 21-year-old, was talking about moving on to pastures new, but he decided he's going to stick with us. Potential again to be a good Sky Bet Championship central midfielder. Dread's playing in big matches, which is an interesting thing, but as you can see again, on a similar kind of line to Lussey, but not quite as strong and not quite as versatile, but his numbers are spread around quite nicely. So good player, we know what he can offer to the team. Scored in the opening game actually as well. John Swift, very versatile player, central midfielder, can also play in the hole, dribbling, finishing and first touch, so kind of strange stats for a mainly central midfielder, but his passing is there as well, as are his long shots, which are useful, and good technique as well, and good vision with his 12 rating and decent pace numbers. So Swift, we can expect him to be running at people from the central midfield. Maybe think sort of, I can't think of his name. I think poor man's Ross Barkley for the ex-Chelsea man. So we've got him, and he's going to be rotating in. Did play in the first game in central midfield, and I can kind of see him, exactly as we've got here, playing alongside Liverpool man Jordan Lussey as the main two, with Dax sort of rotating in. Cameron Brannigan, as we saw, really good player for this level. I think sort of as a central attacking midfielder, he's a leading player for most Sky Bet League One sides as it is. Not really a formation. Well, I tell a lie. I do like to use the diamond at times when we've got a team that struggles a bit defensively. So he will get some football, and we'll change the formation a bit. But as you can see, good dribbling, not afraid to run at people. Lacking a bit in pace compared to Swifty, but again, good passing. Good mental stats. So yeah, he's got a lot of things to offer the team. Antonio German, he's wanted by a club, Bristol Rovers on loan. Yeah, that's fine. I thought with Antonio German I'd be able to keep him around and try and develop him and give him a little run in the side, but at 23, leaving it a little bit late. Potential not too bad, but this is about as high as he's going to get, so I will offer him out on loan after all, so I'll do that right now. Loan offer, end of the season, first team football, all that stuff. So yeah, That's Antonio German. Won't dwell on him too much. I thought he'd be a handy player to have around, but we've strengthened in those areas, in the wide areas and at striker. And now we get to the striker position. We'll start with the man that scored 4 goals in the opening game. Samed Yasil on loan from Liverpool. He's already playing in the Turkey under-21s setup. Decent pace numbers. Well, pace is a little bit lower, but good agility and balance, and his acceleration is up there, so he's going to be quick off the line. Already good mental stats: anticipation 14, composure 13, and decision making 13, which I like for a forward player. We're not going to see any crazy, ridiculous shots coming in from him. He's going to take his time and be controlled about it, which is good. 14 finishing as well. Knows where the goal is. We've seen experience of that firsthand, which is good to see. Luke Norris, 22-year-old, 14 finishing. Good pace numbers again. Didn't get as much of a run in the side as maybe he should have done. And also potentially could develop to be a good Sky Bet League One striker in the future. But unfortunately, he's found himself in the same position where he's going to be behind in the pecking order again, because I've also got John Marquis on board. A more rounded player, I think you can say. He's quick, good in the air. So you can use him as a target man, but also knows where the goal is and has got a bit of pace. Really good work rate. Is going to run and run and run for you up front. Good determination as well. So a bit of a change of pace here. A good target man. Can also play off the shoulder of the defender as well. So going to be an asset if I do decide to play 2 up front, for example. He did actually sign for Gillingham in real life, and he's on loan with us and has done some really good things already in a short space of time. Got some goals. Picked him up on a free transfer as he was released by Millwall. It was sort of a perennial loan signing. And after this squad, which I'm fairly happy with already, to be honest, we've got £10,000 available in our wage budget. That is not bad. So if we do feel like strengthening is needed and the right player becomes available, then we can splash the cash and try and grab them. I did have David Trezeguet on trial with us, but tried to offer him a contract, and straight away he said, there's no way you guys are going to be able to give me enough money, which is kind of fair enough, if you like. Liverpool players available for loan. I think I grabbed anyone worth having, because Harry Wilson won't come to us. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. So let's get to it. I'll show you one game, because these squad roundups are always quite lengthy. And unfortunately the second game out is the Capital One Cup against Birmingham City. So a bit of a tough fixture. Just got the team performance achievement come up. I think that's because I've got 4 players in the team of the week. June players named in team of the week. So Pennington, Clark, Fish, Mesker. Oh wow, I've got 6 players in there. That's not bad. I'll take that. As you can see, Joe Martin out for 3 weeks. Jordan Lussey out for about 2 weeks. Jake Hessenthaler out for 3 to 6. And 4 to 6 weeks for Matt Hill. So a little bit short on left backs, as you can see. Right, so quick pick. Let's see what we got. Norris getting thrown up top. I guess that's a fitness related thing, but no, I want to put Marcus up there if we're going to rotate things around. Mesker go sit one out, but Kent's going to slot in there. Okay, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that setup. What I might do actually, because we're a little short on wide players. See what sort of suggestions we get here. So Norris and yeah, let's try this. Let's try the diamond, because I'm still lacking a little bit of quality in wide players who I've not got Mesker and Kent out there, and they could both do with a breather. So let's try this. So we've got Norris and Yasil up front with the ability to rotate in, and John Marcus if we need him up top. Yeah, I like this. Be quite exciting to see how it works with the diamond, to try some different formations. See, where are Birmingham these days? What league are they in? So Birmingham in the Sky Bet Championship. So 2 divisions to leap up. Oh, yeah, while we're at it, just need to show you really quickly. A few changes have been made, and you can see the face of Jonathan Woodgate as my assistant manager. Yeah, Woodgate and Heskey, I couldn't release them, and no one was particularly keen on signing them either, so I've had to make a few adjustments on that. I'll show you the staff. So I've got Jonathan Woodgate as assistant manager, stepping in for Andy Hessenthaler, club legend, and as you can see, he's got good numbers here. This was a big step up from Hessenthaler, who didn't have a whole lot to offer. And also we've got Jim Stannard stepped in as goalkeeping coach. The ex-legendary Gillingham goalkeeper, only conceded 16 games in 1 season, I think it was, way back in the day. And we've got Emil Heskey, who is the under 18s assistant manager. So we kept them both on vastly reduced wages, which is a bonus. I might, while I'm here, actually remember. I'll see if you can send them on coaching courses. Not working for Heskey. How about for Woodgate? Send on coaching course. Yep, we can. Oh, can't find the funding. Well, that's disappointing, but never mind. So let's get on and crack on with this game. Feels good to have actually built a squad this time, which I'm really happy with. Got players that can rotate in, fill various roles as Norris gets in behind, and should have done better with that chance, I think. Ends up skying it high and wide. Yeah, we've got players that want to be at the club, players that I've bought in. We've got a bit of a mix. We've got players that have got the chance to develop for the future. Of course, the loan signings. This is the last chance we're going to have them, I believe. Johnson Norris from the set piece and just narrowly wide. There are some players that are in their 30s that will have to probably be replaced, and 1 or 2 that are kind of at the limit as such of their ability, and again might have to move on once we get into the next league. But I feel like we've got a bit of a core of a team now that we can work with, which is nice, regardless of what happens this season. And lots of room in the wage budget to build on that and change a few pieces and improve if we need to. So doing alright. Moffat gets a foot in. That's what we're expecting to do. Just try and break up play. Rafael Calvert's sliding challenge well in. Offside anyway. Off the bar. As expected, Birmingham pretty much running the show against us, holding the ball in the midfield. But if we can get hold of it and catch them on the break, anything could happen. Had a couple of half-decent chances, and Ian Turner, didn't know too much about that. He was diving the wrong way, but got a foot on it. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Sammy Jasil going down. Hope that's nothing major. He did have a knock, but I thought I'll leave him out there and see what happens. But yeah, could have done without that. Let's switch roles a little bit. Marcus is probably best as a target man. And Norris brings it down to Brannigan in his favourite spot as attacking midfield. Norris again goes for it. He's getting closer to the goal than Earnshaw was last season. I think we have to be very pleased with his performance so far. Keeping it nice and tight. I've been threatened a couple of times, but we're up against championship opposition, which should be expected. Isn't it nice in one of my series to see centre-backs getting in the right position and sort of troubling the shots? Clark up to Marcus, who does win it back eventually. Brannigan dithering on the ball a bit too long. Comes straight back at us. Donaldson appeals for offside, but I think we played him on, to be fair. In fact, yeah, we did hold a very deep line. Actually, I think there might have been a shout there. Looked like there was a shoulder and an arm and a head, half a head, sort of beyond the line. And oh wow. Michael Boswick, playing for Birmingham, continuing his climb up the leagues. I remember watching him at Ebbsfleet for a while. Was at Peterborough, who are down in our league in League 2. Now finds himself at Championship Club Birmingham. Taken a while for Birmingham to open the floodgates, but they have. 3 goals in very quick succession. See if we can show a bit of fight. Try and produce a bit of that form for you guys that saw us score 5 goals in that game that I didn't show. Always the way. I think YouTube's cursed. This series is cursed. Well, I say that. Pretty much anything I put up there, it's with a losing team. Give Curtis a bang, a little run out. Johnson Norris in behind. What's he going to do with it? Win us a corner. Brannigan into Calvert. Catch and practice though. Curtis Beng trying to get his first goal of the season. Goal scoring fullback, that'd be interesting. Johnson Norris to get on the end of that. Doesn't quite do it. Brangan through to Norris, forces a save. Norris just skimming over the top again. He's on target almost, just needs to sort his height out a little bit. We might see a few free kicks flying in from him, hopefully. Well in, Matt Fish, solid. Okay, well that didn't quite go to plan. Would have been nice to give you guys a proper showing of this squad in full effect, but never mind. Right, so Sami Diazil, fractured jaw, out for 4 to 5 weeks. Well, I could have done without that, but I've got Marcus that can play up there, who's a good option. So I'm not hugely worried about that, but as soon as we can get him back, the better, because he's clearly got some ability in front of goal. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you are looking forward to this second season. I certainly am. I'm feeling much more confident about the squad that I've managed to put together, and you never know, we might be able to add a few pieces in January along the line just to make it that little bit better, and hopefully push us over the line to put in a good challenge for promotion. Fingers crossed. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If there are any players you think I should look at, or you know, if there's anyone that you are particularly excited about that we've brought in from the summer signings, then please do let me know in the comment section. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already, because this series, sorry, has only just started. Thank you very much.